We're going to Galena. Oh, what a beautiful spot that is this time of year.
I have a...
Stay in a condo.
I had that.
Yeah. Kucinich's tonight?
Right. Are you going to that, Sherry? I'm going to 9. I'm going to go to 9. But that's about all I have time to do.
I have flyers for Kucinich's tonight.
It's okay. The names you gave and enter them with the other names so that we have them all in one location. And then, yeah, hopefully we can start identifying some property owners that want to get out there and go to some of these meetings.
I think it would be neat to stream one of these meetings, to get this on video, or at least put video one of these meetings so that it gets documented and preserved.
We need to make some big signs for people that don't know.
Just they're harassing me.
Yeah, that's not
We're just kind of waiting for all of our group to go through the security checkpoint. Behind you! I was just alerting one guy that a person pushing a cart was behind me.
One of the things that I've heard mentioned too is compression, which I guess ISU has some studies on.
All right. Ready, Kaylin?
Yep, let's go have some fun. We're moving. As some others will say, let's kick this pig. Okay, we are up on the main floor of the rotunda level, and we are going to go to the governor's office.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And in a couple of nights, this is going to be owned by the corporations that own the World Food Prize. Yeah, the World Food Prize ceremony takes place here, but it's a nod to GMOs. And so that's what we'll be protesting on Thursday.
More the merrier.
Now we are going into the office.
Hi. Hello. Hello. Pam, this would be the gentleman we're talking to.
Pam is a spokesperson.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is the young wheel. Let's get everybody in here first.
Yeah, you can go left.
Doing fine, Morning, busy, but that's the way it is. Okay, what's up?
I'm Pam Alexander, and I'm one of the landowners that will be affected by the Bakken pipeline.
Okay.
And these other people are with different organizations across the state. And we would like to request a meeting the government of the state,
Okay.
present our petitions, and to schedule a meeting.
Present me with petition to the governor's out of town. And probably this week would not be possible, but I'd be glad to put you in touch with the scheduler. And she could, tell you the exact dates that he's available. But I'd be glad to take the petition today if you'd like to.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and give you there's about 2,400 signatures we'll leave with you. And yeah, if you can put us in touch with the scheduler so that landowners such as Pam, and we've got another one here, Joe,
Yes.
so that they can meet with the governor and voice their concerns.
Let me do this. I'm going to give you my card so you know who you talk to. I'm going to write her name and telephone number on the back of it. And the best way would be to call her direct. And her name is Alicia. And her number is 515-725-3510. And she does all of his scheduling and the lieutenant governor's schedule.
Okay.
So,
Is there anything else you'd like to say about the petitions or the pipeline?
anybody else, the other landowner, did you want to say something?
Do you want to voice it?
I just have a couple
Because I'm
things.
glad to get
Yeah, I'm sorry, and you are,
My name is Leo Huff, it's right in front of you.
oh, okay, you're the office manager. Okay, you're the guy that really makes the place run.
I'm the one that's the gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper. Yes, I have farmland in Boone County that's been in our family since 1940. And I know when my folks really had to struggle through the Depression, they lost their farm there and they were able to get into this one. And I guess World War II probably saved them economically. But anyway, my brother and I have it today, and the proposed pipeline is through our farm. And I just finished 2 years of cover crops, and I know in the Department of Agriculture we've been trying to push cover crops to help clean the drinking water.
Sure.
Now, when you come through with a 150-foot wide strip as you're building this pipeline, this is all going to be destroyed. Now, I'm not just a farmer, I'm also a professional civil engineer. And I know when you do like sewers and stuff like that, you don't even concern yourself with how you put the soil back. You're just trying to compact it, and that's it. Well, the point is that since the cover crops are conditioning our soil and also cleaning the nitrates out, now we're starting over again in this 150-foot strip, and I don't know how long it's going to take to do that. Now, we have two other pipeline easements, well, I should two other easements through our property. One is a rural electric cooperative, but that's a benefit to us. They didn't really have to pay much for it, if anything, and but we use their electricity. The other one is a natural gas pipeline out in the country, and one of the agreements in the easement was we could connect to it. So here we are out in the country with natural gas, so it's a benefit. With oil pipeline, all I see is a potential liability. What if this thing really springs a big leak, they start having problems with it, and they decide to take the easy way out, declare bankruptcy, and am I responsible to clean this up now? So those are my comments.
Sure, well, I mean, your concerns.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, listen, I will assure you that I will get this on the governor's desk this morning, and as soon as he's available, he'll be able to see it. And then you call Alicia and see about an appointment. And we usually book about 2 weeks, probably no further than 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
But she will give it to her consideration and go from there, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, I want to thank you all for stopping. Appreciate your input.
Can I ask your name, sir?
JR.
JR? Are you with the governor's office?
No, sir.
You're not? Okay. Just here hanging out.
Just here hanging out. I'm not with the governor's office. Can I stay here too? Do I get a desk?
Maybe you're here to keep him in line?
One of our big concerns too is that the governor has said he's in favor of KXL over in Nebraska and through that part of the country. And he's really given some contradictory information about where he stands for Iowa. And Iowans really deserve to know where he is on this. We have information about this pipeline. We don't need more. What we need is a governor willing to take the lead on this issue.
And I also agree with the governor. Hard at the state fair, I never got a response. Every time I give it my comments, where you could comment. Issues in the pipeline was one of them, and I never got a response. I know he's busy. I understand that.
Okay, guys. Thank you. We know he wants to come out. Another group coming in.
Yep.
We know he's ready to come out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was the Blue County attorney here.
Oh, you were? Really?
Well, we have left the petitions, left some farmer comments, other comments.
We'll wait till everyone's done. We're not that far ahead.
So what do I type in the search so I can see the video?
Well,
It'll be on your Facebook page, right?
yeah, it will be on my Facebook page because when I finish the live stream, what I do is I hit, sharing it in a post to Facebook and Twitter.
Okay.
I think it was a good first step. Next steps, like we mentioned in December, they're going to hold informational meetings in the 18 impacted counties. So that's going to be an opportunity for those of you who live in those counties. We'll definitely be in contact about turning folks out to raise these important questions on the pipeline. And then, so that's really the next step, is to turn people out to those informational meetings in the counties and ramp up opposition. We'll be applying pressure to the governor throughout this time. Obviously, we don't know how the election's going to go, but we're going to continue to hold Randstad's feet to the fire on this. The pipeline company legally cannot submit the application for the pipeline until 31 days after the last informational meeting. So the last informational meeting is probably going to happen in mid-December. So the pipeline company can't actually file the application to the Iowa Utilities Board until 31 days after that. So we're looking at late January when that's going to be filed, and then that's when we can start to put pressure on the Iowa Utilities Board and get messages into them, because they would be the ones who, there's 3 members of the Iowa Utilities Board, and they would be the ones who vote yes or no on if this pipeline gets approved. And if it's approved, then eminent domain is a done deal and they can take people's land. So we need to make sure that we put pressure on the Utilities Board once that application is submitted, in probably late January. So those are the next steps.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I noticed one thing.
Speak up a little bit.
Oh, yes, I noticed one thing. When a representative from the company tried to contact me, they wanted permission to come on a survey. They wanted me to sign this thing. And I said, no, I need to go to the information meeting and I'm going to talk to an attorney. Oh, she said, this is no problem. Just go ahead and sign it. Sure, yeah, famous last words. So they're kind of deceptive.
And after those informational meetings, folks can formally file objections with the IUB.
Okay.
There's a form on the IUB website. You fill it out, say who you are, where you live, and state the basis of your objection. So, get thousands of those into the IUB. And whether it affects them or not, I don't know. They claim it. On one hand, they claim it does affect them. They listen to the public. But you look at their opinions or their decisions, and all they go by is what they've heard in the formal hearing that they're going to have sometime next year. So, but certainly, it's got to subconsciously at least affect them to get thousands of objections. So that's important.
One question I want to find out.
Yeah.
say the utilities board can take the land.
No. They give the authority.
They give you authority.
Not the authority, so you can fight condemnation, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
Although for this practical matter, it's all about the money. It's not about whether they can actually take the land or not. But once the utility board gives them that permit, then they have the right to eminent domain. And the only way to find eminent domain, really fight it, is if you can show there's no necessity. But if the IUB's already made that finding by giving them the permit, you're dead up on that. All you can do is fight about how much they're going to pay you.
They did something out in Nebraska.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Jane Clee in Nebraska is working through Bow, Nebraska to do the same thing.
They call it a reverse.
There's, hold on. Yeah, and she's actually.
They've used it on that Excel.
And she's actually one of the farmers has been fighting for going on 5 or 6 years now. When they try to come in and take his land within their domain, and he's in federal court right now on it, I think. And I got Jane Cleve's information if you want, if anybody needs to wants to
The
get
tribes
on her.
out there are working on that issue
Yeah,
too.
The Native American tribes are working on fighting the same thing because they're trying to take their land from them too. But I'm friends with Jane Cleve, and I can get her information for the farmers who want it. She points in the right direction.
Is there going to be a federal environmental impact statement that has to be filed that the EPA has to sign off on?
We should demand it, but
Asking about a federal environmental impact study that.
This pipeline, the reason why the State Department was involved in Keystone XL is because it started in Canada and it crossed a national border. So the State Department is out of the question on this one. As far as environmental impact statement, that's going to come from us. That research is going to have.
Isn't there? I know that a lot of projects like there's in order to have before a project can go forward, the EPA has to. There has to be an environmental impact statement, and that has to all be kind of, it seems like since it's crossing state boundaries, there has to be some kind of federal oversight.
And that should be done because it's going to cross a lot of sensitive areas in terms of wetlands and areas of concern that we know already are very sensitive and flood a lot, and so the pipeline wouldn't be a stable thing in this flood.
Right, especially
So
across
we should
the
demand-
two rivers. And remember, when it goes down through southeast Iowa, you're getting into an earthquake zone. Are they going to design it to resist that? See, do they even know about this? That's my question.
What was your question?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And EIS is only for federal projects or federal actions. And for the most part, the way the law is set up, these are state actions because each state is going to approve or not approve the pipeline. But they will have to get permits from the Corps of Engineers, perhaps the Fish and Wildlife Service, and that could give us a handle on demanding an EIS.
If they sign that petition allows them to survey, does that technically allow them to have eminent domain later on?
No.
It does not.
No.
Eminent domain will not happen until if the utilities board approves the pipeline application.
So even if folks have signed for people to survey their land, that doesn't mean they've given
Any eminent domain.
Right.
One of the things that really bothered me is when you said that you can't tile underneath it or around it or whatever. Now that would, if they're going through an 80 acres farm, that's bad news. That farm's completely shot. If you can't farm and tile like you're supposed to, that's bad news. That's going to disrupt tile lines and waterways and everything else for miles.
Yeah. Like central Iowa was originally just a big swamp. And you really couldn't farm it until you tiled it.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 county drains coming through our place because we've got all the pipe tiles.
That's going to be a big issue. It should be a big issue.
Well, some of the old tile has been there for years, and if they crack it, it just cracks on down the road.
Yeah, there's no map of where the tile lines are.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
No one knows.
So yeah, if anybody hears of any misinformation, or feel free to get the word out to your neighbors. We just need to combat the
I did
misinformation because they're already spreading.
ask one question, and I got some misinformation. This person called me about signing the survey, signing up for the survey. I said, well, how are you going to check these lines for leaks? What's ever going to say? Pig is a device for originally pigs are cleaning the line out. Now they've got some that's got instrumentation that you can't read it as it goes down the line, but when you So you have an end you can open up, but it's only goes around 10 miles an hour.
Anyone who's interested is more than welcome to join us for a Clean Water Act hearing that's going to be going on in this room at about 10:30 or so. I said anyone who's interested is welcome to join us for our Clean Water Act hearing that's at about 10:30.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and archive this.
So what we're doing, if you're interested in sticking around for the Clean Water Act hearing, is right now the DNR is working on a rule to implement the water act after the farm fire. And the rule that they have proposed, I was taking city place as usual. We got a medium full of
I'm going to go ahead and archive this, and I think I will actually attend that hearing and live stream it. So
So we're going to this meeting here to make sure that the legislature holds the DNR accountable.
this documented, and I'll see you back in a few minutes.